Hello Aquarius and welcome to my channel. My name is Nikita Antoine and today we're doing a message for you Aquarius. As always, all of the readings are timeless, so when the message finds you and resonates, then it is yours at the time in which you find it. Aquarius, I've done your spread today with my big old deck here. It is the Ethereal Visions Tarot, the Luna Tarot, and the Dreamscape Oracle. So you'll be seeing those in your spread. Aquarius, you are, it's so fascinating. It's like you are kind of doing a, what do they call this? It's like an impossible like attempt at something. It looks incredible and it looks to me like you're absolutely pulling it off. So let's see. It's like an impossible attempt. It's amazing. And you're pulling it off. Okay, I am getting excited for you. All right, so at the bottom of the deck, we have, okay, all right, so this is the Hangman. This Hangman is coming through with, it's coming through with the moment before you attempt whatever this is for you, Aquarius. It's the moment before you take the leap. So it's like, you know, just sitting very still within your body. It doesn't even feel like it's an expanded amount of time. It feels very minute. It's like a quick, like, breath. That's what it's referring to. It's like a quick breath and then kind of just launching yourself forward into whatever this feat that you're pulling off. So the underlying energy is that it's coming through as a very minute moment where you're centering yourself, you're gathering your energy, you're it's coming through as like you're not necessarily focusing on what you're about to be doing. It's the moment where it's like, I've got this, and you take a breath. So that's the underlying energy of your reading today. So let's see, on the split today, we have the 10 of Wands. Okay, this is great because this is like that energy that you're passing through. So as you, as you take that breath for yourself before you do this, you are laying down this 10 of Wands. So it's kind of coming through as like you're ridding yourself of all of the things that are going on in your life. And that's kind of metaphorical because it's like it's in your mind too. So it's like any type of like worry or strain or kind of like activities, you know, the things that are on your priority list, those type of things. It's like all of that is going out of the window in this moment. It's like you're coming into a singular focus of, I've got this, and in doing that, everything else is let go. So let's get the overall energy for Aquarius. Well, there's two here. There's two here. This is very interesting. So what's coming up first is the 7 of Wands. Lots of fire here for you, Aquarius. So the 7 of Wands is talking about kind of you battling back the thoughts, not necessarily the thoughts, it's the feelings. It's the feelings of what I'm hearing right now is inadequacy. The feelings of inadequacy. So it's like you're fighting that back. And then what's revealed here underneath is the 6 of Wands. This is absolutely stunning. So the 6 of Wands comes through as your success, your achievements, all of the things that you have like acquired, the goals that you have achieved for yourself. So it's almost like there's a subtle energy of you kind of battling back your inadequacy. Yeah, that's the word. Inadequacy, or the feeling, that's the thing. It's not accurate. It's an inaccurate representation of inadequacy. That's interesting. So you're fighting that back, and as you do so, the Six of Wands shows up. That's so it's in that moment where you find your breath, where you find that stillness, that you remember. It's like you're remembering how great you are. You're remembering that you got this. You got this. That is what an incredible framework for your reading today, because what you're going through, or what's happening for you right now, is incredibly pivotal for your life, because everything in the first row of your reading today it's all major arcana. So what that tells me is that whatever is happening for you in this moment in time it's a really big deal. It's very pivotal for you. So you here are showing up as this tower moment. You are the figure that is in this tower. That will be launched. It's coming through as you are launching yourself. You're launching yourself into a new space. So, and that could be talking about kind of like how you appear in the world, especially because we've got this Six of Wands. There are people, in the background. So it could be talking about like how you appear in the world. With this launch, it could even be referring to, something that you have been, the word designing. Design came up in the Pisces reading. The word designing and creating, especially with all of these wands here in the framework, something that you've been creating it's like it's launching into the world. And because whatever it is so intrinsically tied to you, it's like you are launching yourself. So that could be like you've established kind of like a business, right? You've established a business and it's about to launch. So there's a moment where you're like, okay, just right before we hit this, right before you jump out the window, if you will, there's that moment. So, of course, now we're seeing you, Aquarius, in this falling position, but what I'm seeing is like, I'm seeing you actually at the edge, right? At the edge of this, well, you're not even necessarily in the tower. It's kind of like you've climbed your way all the way up this tower. So you've put in, that's what this is referring to, the Ten of Wands. You've put in the effort, the dexterity. It's like you've had to use a lot of dexterity to climb yourself all the way up this tower. And right now, currently, we find yourself it's like you're at the tippy top of the tower. You're standing on the edge of the tower and you're about to launch yourself into a new world. Because into a new world, because at the end of your reading, you are presenting here as the world. So there is someone, I don't want to say it's someone, it's coming through as like, it's coming through as either like you talking to yourself or you talking to kind of like the universal, like the universe, the embodiment of the universe is what it's referring to. It's like you're calling out to, it's almost like to an invisible energy that would be represented as this justice. So like a universal, you're calling out to a universal consciousness. And what's fascinating here is that it's like you are receiving support. What this is talking about is that you are receiving support from the justice energy. So whatever you are about to launch yourself into is justified. It has the backing of the universe, and there is a part that this justice energy is playing in the launch of this experience for you. Because what I'm seeing is, as you're standing at the top of this tower and you're having that moment where you're like, okay, I've got this, we're about to launch. It's like justice itself, herself, hisself, is taking their robe. It's like they're taking their robe and they're placing it around your shoulders. It's coming through as an anointment. It's like you're being anointed by justice before you take this leap. Well, it's kind of referring to as like a leap of faith, if you will, you know? So faith is interesting here too, because this particular justice card, it requires fluidity to be involved here in the matrix of what's being created. So it's kind of like, how do I explain this? This was coming up in the differences between the two justice cards were coming up in a Virgo reading, which was speaking about a contract's conclusion. So this form of justice here requires flexibility. It's not an absolute. And that flexibility here is being presented for you as like faith, actually. It's coming through as faith. Like what's required here for you is to have faith that all is going to go well once you launch yourself. And it's like a confirmation for you is kind of this anointment. It's an anointment of the justice. It's like justice is here. The universal consciousness is here. You are being backed. You're being supported by the universal law, by the truth of everything that is. And then you have that moment, right? And you are, you have that moment and then you leap. It's like, I'm literally watching you like just, I mean, like it's a total skydiving moment here for you. And so you leap off of this tower, and you know, at the base of this tower, there is an audience, if you will. You know, this is very cool. There is an audience back here. You know, even this one in the Seven of Wands, you can kind of see it as like this is a cliff, right? And you're leaping off of this cliff, and all of this. Well, this is the 7, so this is the 6. That you're leaping into your success. There's all of this kind of like audience and support and people that are watching you. They're watching this moment, and they are, it's like they're taken aback by it. It is, from my point of view, at least, it's very fantastic. It makes me feel proud. That's what it makes me feel. It's like all of these people that are, you know, characterized here as the silence, they feel proud. They're like shocked that you're finally making this move. It's almost like they've been kind of standing around at the base of this tower waiting for you what's coming through is actually like waiting for you to join them, because they're at the bottom of this tower, right? And they're waiting for you to join them at the bottom. But in that transition where you're kind of falling from the tower and, you know, coming closer, it's like you're coming closer to the audience that is witnessing your launch. There's like this shock and awe that is coming over them. It's you know, they are very supportive. They are very supportive of your feat, of all of the things, of all of the work, right, that you've put in, all of this, it's referring to like a stress, like, you know, those types of things that you experience and having to bring yourself to the top of this tower. But there's something about it that it's like, although they're giving their support, there is kind of like a sense of disbelief that you are doing this. And it's not in a negative way. It's definitely not in a negative way. It's just like a, oh my God, they're actually doing this. They're actually doing this. They're actually like living up to their word, if you will, like living up to the actions. That's what this is referring. All of these wands here in your framework are referring to your actions matching what you've like created, everything. And it's astounding people. Not only that, it's like, well, one, it's definitely inspiring them, but it's like they're absolutely floored and proud that you're doing this. But it's like, even in that moment, there's a lot of like, is this going to work out for them? It's just a moment of like disbelief. And it's coming through as like that shock and awe. They're doing it. What's really great here is that the silence typically shows up as like ancestral. It shows up as kind of beyond the realm, beyond the veil, energies that are beyond the veil that could be presented to you as ancestors, because we have this skull here. So the ones that have come before you that are beyond the veil, it's like you're receiving even their support as well, which is interesting because we're going back. Let's go back to the justice here. And we were talking about anointing. It's like even your ancestors, everybody is on your side. That's what this is referring to. It's like everything in the universal consciousness, right? And that universal consciousness even includes all of the ones who have come before you, all of the ancestors, all of the people that have inspired you to get to this point. It's like you are, that's what this tower is. It's like you've been kind of, it's like the ones that have come before you have laid the foundation for you to get to this, to get to the top of this crest, right? And it's at the fall, if you will, the launch, the jump, the leap of faith, that all of the work that has gone into this is being witnessed. It's like it's being witnessed in this transition. It's like as you're coming down, it's like everything is being witnessed in your transition. And that's what's causing this shock for them. It's like it's so much more than they were led on to believe. And that's why there is that sense of disbelief. what's great here is that, you know, you're coming closer and closer and closer to the bottom, to the bottom. I'm feeling into that space to see where that is. What is that? Because it's like almost in a sense like you're coming to the base of the foundation. And this is the crazy part to me, is that when you do, there's this beautiful like turn that you're doing almost mid-air. It's kind of like when a cat falls, it's like they automatically, intrinsically, it's in their DNA, you know, speaking of DNA, ancestors, to kind of turn their body so that they land feet first. And that's what's happening for you. It's like, you know, you might have been on this edge and you fell backwards, right? You didn't know what was coming. You were relying on faith. And so as you're coming down, it's like your body is intrinsically turning around and you're landing on your feet. You're landing on your feet in this new world. And it's like I'm seeing you like jumping up and ta-da, like that's what this looks like. It's like you're performing some type of impossible gymnastics feat where you're launching yourself and sticking the landing. And then here's everyone else. Here's the entire collective, the entire universe, everybody there watching you, witnessing you come into this Six of Wands. It's absolutely stunning. I love this, Aquarius. All right, so if any of this resonated for you, I will be pulling some more cards for the part 2, and you can find the link for that in the description box. See you there.